Hey everyone, today I want to talk about how I think that digital purchases and such, purchases and rentals, might have actually been a better system than just streaming services. I'll tell you why. You have more control over what you watch and etc. So you could hypothetically rent a movie for $4 to see if you like it or not, and then if you like it, when you want to watch it again, you can buy it for as little as $5 if it's on sale, $10 maybe, 15 I think is where it usually sits on a regular basis. Yeah, there are a decent number of sales on the digital stores, especially just recently, Christmas time. They had a bunch of them on sale. I say that because you can actually control how much you watch based on the amount of content. You're not just paying one fee for an omnibus of content. I say this because I'm realizing that I would never have gotten to watch Falling Down in 300 recently if not for the Fandango gift card I got for Christmas and using it to get the using it to get those on Fandango at home and then using Movies Anywhere to have them added to my Apple TV library, formerly known as iTunes. Back in 2012 when I started my Saturday movie system, I would buy like a new movie almost every single week and I would cherish it a lot. Man, those were the days and I could buy them in SD to save some money. And the best part is I still have them on uh, my digital library to this day, and the not just the movies but also shows which can get shuffled around. Like I bought on digital Batman the animated series in 2013. Unfortunately, with TV shows, the downside is you can't rent them and then see if you like them first. So I would buy the shows that I really liked, and then I'd have them forever, and I could rewatch them annually if I so chose. And I wouldn't have to rush them. I could binge watch them as quickly as I wanted, or stretch them out as thin as I wanted because there was no time limit. I did not have to finish it before it left the streaming service by this date, or I didn't have to finish it by a certain date so that I could I didn't have to finish it by the end of my billing cycle so that I could cancel and not have to pay for another month that I would use very little of, if at all. Heck, I remember when the iTunes season pass was a thing and you could buy a season pass where you'd automatically get it added to your library the day after it aired. Now, obviously, if you do that for a ton of shows, that piled up quickly. But hey, you had them, and you could rewatch them. Yeah, I got most of the DC animated universe through that. The Batman, the series, not the movie. I have this one obscure one called Last Resort. It aired on ABC in fall of 2012 up to winter of 2013. It was an interesting show. It was about this Navy sea captain who went rogue. Andre Braugher was great in that role. Yeah, you could see some of the cut corners from it being a network TV show, but it was a good 13 episode series. Might have been interesting to see what would happen if they stretched out, but honestly, I think I appreciate the fact that they gave it a good natural conclusion and left it at that. And it's really hard to find on other streaming services, but I have it purchased legitimately through iTunes, now the Apple TV store. So, yeah, I don't have to track it down. I don't have to go against the FBI warning you see in front of every DVD or Blu-ray. You know what? Maybe I'll cancel all my streaming services for a little while and then just rewatch those until I've saved up some extra money and then reactivate them. I've got like 500 movies in my iTunes movie library as well. I have watched all of them. See, this was back when my Friday and Saturday movies were, they had to be under my ownership. Now, I know that the digital purchase isn't like real ownership, but then again, neither is a Blu ray or DVD. You're buying a You're buying a piece of digital storage that has the license for it, meaning you can buy that disc and you can use that disc in your thing to watch your Blu-ray player to watch the movie or show that you have, but you don't have the legal right to redistribute it. That's what the FBI warning is for. You don't own the intellectual property. So, for example, you buy a Blu-ray of Ghostbusters. You don't own the rights to the Ghostbusters franchise now. You don't own the intellectual rights to make a sequel based on it. You don't have the right to profit that off of that copy of that movie. Granted, you can share it with a friend, but you can't just start mass producing, and you certainly can't produce your own sequel to it. Not like most of us would really have the resources to do that. I mean, sure, you can make a fan film, but at a certain point, you own the disc that houses it, and it can get damaged. The digital front, you own a license that lasts a very, 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 very long time. Probably as long as what would be considered reasonable. So, for example, if you bought a digital game on the Nintendo Wii U eShop when that launched in 2012, and then you were able to play it, most likely you wouldn't have played it as much by the end of the 2010s. But if you got a decent amount of usage out of it, then by the time the servers shut down, if you were unable to re-download it, you would have gotten your money's worth. So, for example, my digital copy of The Hunger Games, that's the oldest one on my Apple account because my digital purchases for that, that when I started buying in HD, go that far back to November of 2013 when I bought it the week before Catching Fire came out. Okay, I watched it on the November 15th, 2013. No, 16th, 2013. And then again on November 15th, 2014. And then I watched it again in October of 2016 and then March of 2020 and then November of 2023. Well, November of 2023, 2020 and 2023, I watched the Blu-ray that I bought back when I was a physical media guy. No, wait, no, hey, November of 2023, I went back to the digital copy because it was after my wisdom tooth extraction that I realized that Blu-rays are way too expensive, at least in conjunction with the streaming services, which I still like for getting streaming originals. It's the most budget-friendly way for now. I'm starting to think maybe instead of all the streaming services, just take $20 a week and then rent something for Saturday and then because that's how much it is for like newer releases. Obviously, I wouldn't start doing that until then, but combine that with the movies coming out with series if you are into that, like like with the Hulu Disney Max bundle. I've got Skeleton Crew going on. That one's actually not bad. With Apple TV Plus, I've got that Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy movie coming out in February. I've got new episodes of Silo and other shows coming out. So yeah, if you find a couple shows and those that are worthwhile and keep up with some new movie releases, you get your money's worth with streaming services, though if you don't watch enough, then I think that the digital stores might actually be a viable option. So, for example, I could spend $100 on the Seinfeld digital box set for the entire series and then watch like one or two episodes a day, and it would probably come out to less than and if I were subscribed to Netflix just for that. So if I let's say I'd say about 6 months from the with the ad-free tier, because that's the other thing with the purchase. This is you're not gonna deal with advertisements. Now you might have an up next suggest. Now, in my experience with the Apple Library, I've had the up next suggestion after the credits rolled, but nothing forced on me. Like last night, I finished listening to the radio drama of the Fellowship of the Ring from the BBC, and then Audible literally auto played a 5-minute preview of the Silmarillion audiobook. And I think I might delete my Audible app and give up my Audible library just because of that. Like, fuck that. Okay, I used a digital credit on it, but still, fuck that. I'd rather not have new suggestions shoved down my throat like that. It's one thing when you just show a list, like, cool, okay. When you autoplay, hey, fuck it. I don't think I want to use your service anymore. Sorry for swearing, but that just really pissed me off. I'm honestly considering for my Saturday movie, which the charter defines as the newest release of interest within the last years, released within the last year. I'm honestly considering amending that to just whatever movie I feel like, and then grounding all movie viewing outside of the theater to one per week, just like I did back in the old days. Because another part of it was back in high school, I guess I didn't want to go overboard with the content consumption, so maybe I should go back to just one movie per Saturday. Of course, there wouldn't be any Saturday theater trips, or the theater wouldn't count because of the backup system I felt I had to institute and how I still watched one at home in the morning anyway. I think Let me know in the comments down below if you think I should do that or stick to what I'm doing for now. We'll see how I feel about it later on, but thanks for that. Thanks for watching. Give this video a like, subscribe for new ones daily, and I'll see you soon.